Hi guys, I hope you're doing really well. My name is Sarah and welcome to What the Horror, the channel where we talk about horror movies old and new. Also, welcome to the first episode of my new series, Monsters 101, where we look at and study the monsters of horror, taking a look at the villains, ghosts, demons, and creatures that haunt the screen. For this episode, we're looking at crawlers, the antagonists of both the 2005 The Descent and its 2009 sequel, The Descent Part 2. Crawlers are a humanoid race of creatures that live in a system of caves and tunnels in the Appalachian Mountains in America. While humanoid, they have no remaining humanity and have instead perfectly evolved to live in the pitch-black darkness of the caves. In The Descent, the crawlers stalk, hunt and kill a group of 6 women who accidentally enter their territory on a caving adventure, and then the subsequent rescue team in The Descent Part 2. The crawlers were the concept of writer and director Neil Marshall, but were designed by Paul Hyatt, a makeup and prosthetic artist who then went on to become a director himself. The crawlers are creatures who have been around for tens of thousands of years, with their origins dating back to prehistoric cavemen in the Paleolithic era. The cave system in which they live has been undiscovered and isolated from humans for thousands of years, and some of the cave paintings created by their ancestors can still be seen undisturbed on the walls of the caves in which they live. Unlike most cavemen who ventured out and evolved into you and me, the crawlers' ancestors never left the cave. They remained there, and as the earth shifted over thousands of years, they became trapped and isolated from the rest of the world. Through those thousands of years, the crawlers then adapted and evolved perfectly to live and thrive in the caves and tunnels. Crawlers are both animalistic and humanoid in appearance. Their skin is almost translucent, but also able to take on the appearance of their surroundings. This is witnessed in both movies, where calcium deposits and rock formations are mistaken for the creatures themselves. Their eyes are milky white and completely blind. They have no use for eyes in the darkness of the caves, and so have over the years lost their sight and instead evolved to heighten other senses such as their smell and hearing, like that of a mole. They excrete a large amount of saliva from their mouths, which are full of rows of very sharp teeth like those of a shark. These are perfectly formed for ripping and tearing into meat to both kill and eat. Because the crawlers are blind, they instead hunt with the use of sound. This includes both listening for sounds made by their prey, but also by using echolocation like a bat. While the crawlers have 2 arms and legs, they don't walk upright like humans. Instead, they move around on all 4s. They move with incredible speed and agility and have the strength to overpower a fully grown man or woman. And as they have adapted to live in the caves, they are also excellent climbers, able to scale any wall or ceiling. Crawlers both hunt as an individual but also as a pack. They stalk and hunt their prey before they attack them, and this is a trait seen in predators that have a low metabolic resource and so tire easily. Predators generally stalk their prey in order to reduce the distance between them and the prey to lessen the chase time and distance. In The Descent, the women observe that the crawlers are circling them. This appears to be not only to get closer to the women, but to also assess the prey and identify weaker members. We see this when the crawlers attack and kill Holly first, the weakest member of the group because of her broken leg. When crawlers attack, they use their long arms to slash from a distance to wound, and then they bite and rip out the neck to kill. When the crawlers attack the women in The Descent, we see that on occasion when fighting multiple prey, they will injure one, immobilizing them so that they can move on and attack another before going back to finally kill them. Crawlers are hunters. They don't wait for prey to enter the caves. They leave and hunt for food in the surrounding woodlands in the cover of darkness. Once they've made a kill, they return with it to the caves and take it to a designated section of cave which appears to be for eating. We see evidence of this when Holly, who was killed by a crawler, is brought to this section and a pack of crawlers descend on her to eat her, witnessed by one of the other women, Sarah. Once a kill is brought back, all of the crawlers will share in eating it, even if they didn't share in the kill. But while crawlers will share their kill with their own kind, they are territorial over kills that are approached by other people and animals. We see this when, after Holly has been attacked, one of the women, Juno, tries to approach the body and the crawler returns, pushing Juno away from Holly. A crawler's diet seems to consist of deer, dog, and any other animal they can find in the surrounding woods, but it also consists of any humans who pass into their territory. There is no evidence that the crawlers actively seek out and hunt humans. However, as witnessed in The Descent Part 2, we do know that Ed has been providing humans for them to eat by knocking them unconscious and leaving them at the entrance to the cave. The director and writer of The Descent, Neil Marshall, has described the crawlers as a colony, that they are very much a family. Originally, there was just going to be male crawlers, but Marshall felt that that created difficulties when it came to answering how did the creatures survive for so many years. So, to simplify matters, they introduced female and infant crawlers. Marshall said, quote, "It is a colony and I thought that was far more believable than making them the classic monsters. If they had been all male, it would have made no sense, so I wanted to create a more realistic context for them. I wanted to have this very feral, very primal species living underground, but I wanted to make them human. I didn't want to make them aliens because humans are the scariest thing." End quote. The number of crawlers inhabiting the cave system must be in the hundreds. There are times when we see shots of tens upon tens of crawlers scaling the walls of the cave. While they don't exhibit high intelligence, they do appear to be organised creatures. Within the cave system, they have different sections for different purposes. They have the section where they eat and another for discarding the bones of their kills. And of course, who can forget the section for defecating? Crawlers are a race who have successfully survived for thousands of years and are very dangerous, efficient hunters. However, they are also vulnerable to attacks themselves, and if their prey has the strength to fight back and overpower them with either their bare hands or a weapon, then they are easily killed themselves. Well, thank you guys for attending the very first Monsters 101. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did, and I'm really excited to continue with this series and tackle more of the amazing monsters of horror. I really did enjoy doing this one. This is a lot of fun and I'm excited to do more in future. I know this one was a short but sweet one, but I am looking forward to tackling some of the bigger names and hopefully they will be longer episodes. If you enjoyed this episode and are a fan of The Descent, then make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on my next episode, which will be a deep dive into the movie. But in the meantime, thank you as always for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves and I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye guys.